Hey guys, Keesha here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an oldie but goodie, something I used to do on my channel years and years ago. If you guys have been an OG, you guys already know all about this, and this is my Keesha Talks segment, you guys. And I used to love giving you guys advice and just helping you guys out with your personal situations that go on in your life. So I decided I wanted to kind of bring that back, but I wanted to switch it up just a little bit. I will be having like a wine situation going on. So you guys, make sure whenever you're watching this, well, my videos come out at 8, so not that early in the morning. Maybe you should go grab your orange juice if you're watching this right when it airs. But for me, I'm gonna have my Stella Rose. I went to Publix and I tried to Google while I was in there like really sweet wines. It was taking too long, and then I saw some of them were in the fridge, and this just stood out to me. I've heard people talk about Stella Rose. I do remember trying it years ago with my friend. I don't remember what I said about it. Probably nothing good because I don't like the taste of alcohol at all. But Stella Rose, this is the Stella Peach. So I got my glass, which I am planning on ordering like a cuter glass. I don't know what happened to all of our wine glasses and stuff, but I guess it just got lost when we moved. So I'm gonna just pour just, okay, Keesha, calm down. You're not even probably gonna drink all of this. I'm gonna try to drink it, y'all. Hold on, let's do a taste test before we get into these questions, y'all. Let's do a little taste test and see. Not too bad. That's not too bad. That's actually not too bad at all. Y'all, can we get a round of applause because there's something I finally like? That's not too bad. I like that. I like that. But anyways, so okay, hold on. My assistant was texting me. She's running some errands. I'm really excited to do this video. Before I start, let me go ahead and get into a few, we got some house, y'all, get some ordering here. I gotta make some house announcements. I know this is kind of ghetto, me doing on my finger, but some house announcements. I don't know what day you guys are gonna be seeing this, but I know some things I'm going to be releasing next week. So I'm like, let me go ahead and cover my tracks, and I already have mentioned it. And if y'all don't see me saying this part, obviously I edited it out. But if you're watching this right now, make sure you guys get your coins together because my back to school sale will be happening very, very soon. I will be releasing all of my hair completely over. I have been rebranding my entire hair company from start to finish, website, social media, all of that, you guys. Gotten better quality hair. Not like I said, my hair has always been good, but I just get better. So all of that, you guys, will be released. I got all the transparent, all the HD in stock, so you guys be ready. I will have custom units available. Currently I have been doing pre-sale where people who wanted to make sure as soon as the sale launched, they wanted to have their hair to them. So those customers have already contacted me via my business phone, oh excuse me, you guys, and have ordered custom units. And by custom I mean colors and things like that. The hair will already come glueless, ready for you to wear it, pre-plucked with the band if you want to just buy it as is. But if you guys want to achieve the colors, you will have to actually you can color yourself or go to a professional, or you can pay my colorist, which will be Chrissy, who colors my hair. She's bomb, and you guys can pay a fee for her to do that. I talked to my vendors and they do have the transparent lace already pre-plucked. If you guys would like to send in your questions, if you guys would like to be a part of this, the email will be across the screen, KeeshaKayleeBrand@gmail.com. Send in all of your questions and I will be trying to film a few of these videos a week so I can already have these already, you know, in the chamber if I get busy or my content, like I'm like really hectic and I don't have, you know, quality content to put out. This will be anonymous. I don't want to mention anyone's name, so I'm gonna read every single thing that they say to me, and then I'm gonna give my opinion. You guys, give the person some opinion because it's always good to hear a variety of opinions sometimes, just to hear what other people, especially if other people have been through things like this, if you can relate, or if you feel like you just are a good person at giving advice. The comment sections are completely open for you guys to give some advice too. Keep it respectful, keep it cute. Don't come for nobody, and I'm just gonna leave on that note. So, hey Keesha, so here's what I need advice on. I am 31 and I'm recently divorced. I'm so sorry to hear that. I am living with my now girlfriend. My family is very religious, so I've just never done this before out of fear of disappointing them. They have their suspicions already, and I introduced her to them as a friend. They have been weird ever since, and my dad even texted me basically saying that it's not okay. But I'm the happiest I have ever been with this woman, and I just really don't care who knows at this point. I'm fine with being out. I'm just afraid of my family turning their backs on me. I have gone through a lot with this divorce as it is, losing people and things. So my question to you is, what do you think is the easiest way to do this? Should I just come out to them and say it, or just live my life and let them catch on, LOL? So thank you for your question. If you guys are watching this and you guys do not know, from the age of 15 until 23, I had 2 relationships with 2 different women. So I have experience with this, you guys. I have experience with this. So I have never been married, but I do have experience with same-sex relationships as well as life-changing obstacles from being in the same-sex relationship, from society, from peers, family, friends, all of that. So first things first, from my experience, I was 15 when it first happened, but I kind of can relate. I did bring my first girlfriend around my family, and I did introduce her as a friend to me, just like you did in your situation. I don't know, well, it says you recently divorced. I don't know how recent. Recent could be a week, it could be 5 months, it could be a year, whatever it may be. But I just want to say, given your track record and your history, in your family knowing you for 31 years, that is a very long time to live a certain kind of way, being heterosexual. And that is completely fine, and that's what's considered to be normal in society. So at 31 years of age, if your family and friends have never seen a sign of homosexuality, curiosity, bisexuality, curiousness, or anything like that, I'm pretty sure that could be very it can be very hard for them. In our society, in our country that we live in, being homosexual is frowned upon. It is becoming to be a little bit more normalized. However, there are still families who live and preach based off their religion, based off what they were taught from their upbringing, and just based off what they're comfortable with. Now, it has already happened with you bringing your girlfriend around your family, and since you know that that's something that is very uncomfortable for them, I personally think that you should stop doing that. Because from my experience, I think you're kind of like, not intentionally, but like putting it in their face, which is okay. You're grown, you're an adult. However, if you want your family to be comfortable, I don't think that this is the way to make them comfortable. Because for one, it's creating curiosity, like what is going on here? And they will be very hurt because it's kind of like, wait, what's going on here? It's kind of rude to insert yourself and assume because you don't want to judge the other person. However, at the same time, since you have not had a formal conversation, your family, when you get a divorce, your family and friends are processing that same thing. As hard as it is as much as you understand that a relationship is just 2 people, your family and your friends are attached in a way. I don't know the reason for your divorce. I don't care to know the reason for your divorce, but your family is also going through this divorce process. They're getting used to it. They may feel a way like they really wanted you to stay married. I don't know, but they could feel like they wanted you to stay married. They could feel like, oh my gosh, like she's only 31. I want her to get married again. Like this is not the life I saw for my child. There are a lot of adjustments that you have to make as a parent. And now that I am a parent of 3 daughters, I kind of do understand where, not my family, but my mom, she was totally blatantly against me being in a same-sex relationship. That was when I was at the worst of the worst of my relationship with her, because she just did not get it. She did not accept it. She did not like it. And the thing that I did wrong was kind of try to push it on her by like trying to play her to be naive, like, oh, this is my bestie, like blah 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 type of thing. And she was like, what, bestie? And she's spending the night and you're doing this and you're doing that, like, do you play me as a fool? Like, what is going on here? So it kind of sort of hurt her in that aspect, because I was essentially lying. And if you, as grown as you are, you're 31 years old, you're not a child like I was. So I had to kind of sort of get my parents' permission to do any type of dating, whereas you're free to do whatever you want to do. However, to your family, it can be looked up as you're spiraling out of control, you're in a midlife crisis, you just got married. They just don't get it. So if I were you, I would kind of sort of keep my relationship. If I'm not going to come to my family and friends and say what it really is, I'm going to keep that separately until I'm ready to actually make that type of announcement, just so they don't despise your, because now they feel like your girlfriend, they could feel like your girlfriend is a part of condoning the lie. They could feel like there's so many different variables that come into same-sex relationships, and despite if you dated men for 50 years, 2 years, or whatever it could have been, there are just different variables. And some people, they just like, it came out of nowhere for me, it could have come out of nowhere for you, but there's always some, like for me instantly, like people are like, you were boy crazy. Before I even started dating women, I was boy crazy. I loved like my little boyfriends in high school and middle school. Like I was always the one crying, like, oh my gosh, I'm going through a midlife crisis with that. So I just want to say, you gotta kind of sort of understand where that could be coming from for them. Like you have to kind of sort of let them process and understand your transition for what it is. And once you're comfortable and you're like, okay, I don't really care what you guys think or feel about this, I'm going to introduce this person. I don't care if it lasts for a week, I don't care if it lasts for a lifetime, I'm going to introduce this person to my family as what they are, because you just don't want to deceive them. Because in these type of situations, like for me personally, it just made the situations 10 times worse when I tried to deceive them and do it my kind of way. And they just, especially knowing that you already are getting messages from your family. You said your dad text you already and said like this isn't okay. So they are already on the up and ups right now, and they're probably having like little whispers like, oh, you're like, what is this going on? And like they're gonna have their guard up. So you don't want them to have their guard up. You kind of want them, maybe you can sit down with your family and have a conversation, an open-ended conversation about what you see for your life. And then say, hey, I would like to take, because your home is your sanctuary. So you don't want to be not at peace in your home. And I feel like sometimes it's even more tense in a personal setting, like your house, your home, or whatever. So me personally, I would say, even say, let's go grab a bite to eat. Let's go do brunch. And then you bring your girlfriend and you introduce your girlfriend in a public setting where people have to be mindful of their expressions and everything like that. It's a little bit more freeing. And then you just have an open-ended, transparent conversation, so it's not too much tension, or you feel, you know, like coming to your home is just such a big step. And no matter how old you are, like I'm much older and I'm able to make whatever decision I want. But regardless, like I'm still going to be mindful of who I bring home in my parents' physical home, because at that point I'm saying this is so serious between us that I'm going to bring them into your house, let them know where your address is, where you stay, like just so many different things. So you're probably already have offended them, if you will. And like I said, you're grown, you can make your own decisions, but in a sense you probably could have already offended them. Like, our daughter really brought another woman into our home knowing we don't approve of this lifestyle, and then try to play us like this is just a friend. Now we're offended. Now we feel disrespected. Now we're on guard. Now we're not open to whatever you thought you were doing, because now they already have so many negative connotations going on with what you're doing. So, like I said, what you're asking me is the easiest way to do this. And like I said, I think this is for you. Gather yourself. You're at your happiest. The beginning stages of talking and dating are always, for the most part, really, really happy. I think that you should try to get to know her a little bit more. See if this happiness is stemming from her allowing you to mask the pain from your divorce. Like I said, I don't know why you got divorced, but if this is something that feels new, feels different, feels exciting, that's good. But I think that you should take time to truly explore this for yourself before you include everyone else around you in this huge decision for yourself, because you just don't want to, I don't want to say ruin a relationship with your parents, but you know, like sometimes it's like, I know people personally who couldn't come back from it. Like, it's like they have such a bad relationship with their parents now, family, friends. It's just really, really bad. And some people are never going to understand. But once you get to the point where you truly understand what's your purpose with this person, longevity wise, not to say, oh, do I think I can get married to them? Da, da, da. No, I'm saying holistically, where is your mental space? Where is your physical space, emotional space, all of these different things? Truly think about it. Truly gauge what decisions you are making. Weigh out your options for how it can impact your family, and go that way. Like, us as parents have to understand that our children have their own lives, but I as a parent will still want my child to allow me to be inclusive to their plans, whether it's what I wanted them to do or something completely of the latter. And that is okay. It is okay to be in a same-sex relationship. You're still loved. You will still be blessed. You will still be able to experience new heights and plateaus of this feeling that you probably didn't experience before, like you're saying in your message, like you've never experienced anything like this. And that is great, and I want to congratulate you for that and allow you to know just how special you are. I really am sorry that you went through a divorce. I know like how much marriage means to people and that union, and like I said, you just gotta understand your family, they're trying to go through that divorce too. So they probably were worried like, oh, I hope she can find another man to marry. I hope she knows it's not the end of the world. The last thing they expected is that. And some parents rebel against same-sex relationships, not really because of what they feel, but because they fear for the safety of their child. Now they fear for how society is going to treat you, or what is to come and what is expected with this new lifestyle change, because just because they may be cool with something, they know how the world may see it. Even though, like I said, it's becoming more normal today in our society, way more normal, like way more normal. But you still, like I said, the people who matter most, your friends and your family, you want them to be as comfortable as possible with this transition, and you want to do it as respectful as possible. So the last question for today, I would like to remain anonymous, of course. I have been dating this guy for 8 years. Child, off and on. It's been so rough. We've been through so much: house fires, cheating scandals, and just some really deep things. We're both cancers, and the crybaby and emotional stigma is true as. We recently had a baby, and she's literally my pride and joy. After years of thinking I was infertile, I'm finally complete. So boom, during this 8 years, he cheated on me, and instead of leaving like I should have, I stayed and played get back. Literally the worst decision ever. Girl, tell me why he recently went through my phone and completely lost his shit, Keesha. We're now on the rocks, and every time I mention parting ways, he literally breaks down crying with a little stank face emoji and says I'm tearing our family apart. What should I do? I'm ready to be a wife, and I just feel like it's too much, especially on our daughter. Help your West Side Kilmington Road sister out, child. Woo, child. There's so many things going on with this, and I'm gonna make sure I get through everything. So for one, you guys have been together for a very long time. I get that. And sometimes as you get to each new year of a relationship, you do start looking down like, okay, when am I gonna be married though? Okay, when are we gonna get married though? And being that you guys have went through so much and the love is still there, you're still there, I know how that feeling could be. I'm a little confused for something. Now, it says that you got your get back, which means you cheated on him back, and he recently went through your phone and completely lost his ish. But it says also that you all on the rocks due to that, but you're the one who's trying to part away from him, and he's saying to stay. So if I'm trying to make sure I get this straight, because it says I'm ready to be a wife, and I feel like this is too much. So when you're saying you're ready to be a wife, are you saying you're ready to be a wife to him, but this is too much for your daughter? Or you're ready to be a wife to a man who's ready to love you unconditionally, so you need to leave him to be able to obtain that? Now, I don't know how you are or how your dynamic is, but it sounds like you guys truly need counseling. That would be my first thing that I recommend, because I don't want to say it's the whole sign thing. We as humans are very, very selfish beings. It's like we do so many things to other people that we wouldn't want them to do to us. We want them to forgive us for the sinful things we've done, and then we don't forgive them when they do the same in return. And it's just a little bit of too much going on. Like, that's what I want to say. This is all over the place, and I have been there. I get it. I know what it feels like to be in, like, okay, what's going on here? Stop, pause, because we're not going to continue like this. So that's what I'm gauging from reading your message, is it's a little bit too much going on. I don't know if he's still cheating currently. Obviously, that cheating hurt you, and I'm assuming that you recently cheated, because you said he recently went through your phone and saw the cheating. So if this is some... Pardon me?
You busy?
Yeah.
I just want to leave you my card.
Oh, okay. You can open the door.
If you ever need
To
it.
me, I think that you guys both need to truthfully decide what you all want. Do you guys want each other? Are you staying out of emotions for the child? Like, what is it that you truly want? You need to ask yourself some questions first. You need to write down a list of questions and ask yourself, like, do I see myself marrying this man? Am I able to forgive this man for what he did? Is him not being able to forgive me for what I did, despite the fact that I did the same thing he did, going to continue to bother me? Like, different things. In counseling, these types of questions will come up and allow you all to heal. Because one thing I say for sure in a relationship, don't ever do the tit for tat. Don't ever do the tit for tat. Do not unnecessarily create soul ties and soul connections, because I don't care what a lot of people say. Me personally, I feel like every time you have sexual intercourse with anybody, I feel like you're releasing parts of your soul, your inner being, into someone else, because that is such an intimate moment. And that's exactly why I make sure you all know all about the infidelity that happened in my relationship. And one of the reasons why, before, I didn't even really have to do any real digging and searching for any infidelity, because it came to a point in our relationship when I was pregnant where my soul started to feel different. It felt like there were different souls entering in our bedroom, as deep as it is. If you read our book, then you will know a little bit about this. But one of the first triggers for me, and one of the reasons why I knew something was going on, is because I just felt like there was other people in our bedroom that weren't physically in our bedroom. And no, he never brought another person. Ooh, that would have been death. I would have been in somebody's jail. But what I'm saying is, I could feel those energies coming home with him from doing those things. And it started to make me curious and feel like, dang, am I just overthinking? And then things, you don't even have to go looking. I didn't have to go looking. Things just came to the light. Things came to the light for me. So what I'm saying is, I just knew, like, it reconfirmed for me just how I felt before about when you were having sexual intercourse with just anybody, blah, blah, blah. You're not just doing it for yourself. You're bringing it back home to your partner. And then now it's just chaotic. And you guys, you all have to get to a place of being faithful to one another. If you guys are moving towards a goal of marriage, then you guys need to decide and communicate to one another what that looks like for you guys and how you all are going to get there. Sorry guys, my camera cut off. But we pour into those things and continue to heal. So I challenge you guys. Sometimes one of the biggest reasons why relationships don't work is because the communication is not there. Or y'all are on two different accords, and one person is saying they want one thing, the other person is saying they don't want that. And then if you really love someone, you will respect the things that they want or what they need. If you're telling him you don't want to be in a relationship anymore and he's not respecting that, then he's selfish. Like, he's not getting it. And I get it. I've been there where I'm like, let's work it out anyways. Despite, like, I've been in like 3 real long-term relationships. And I remember when I was dating women, like it would be to a point where the relationship was so damn toxic. I knew I didn't want to be in a relationship, but it just seemed like every time it was time to walk away, I'm finding an excuse to stay. And I'm like, why did I do that? So now I make sure. Luckily, in my current relationship, we've never gotten to the point where we just want to just walk away. Other than the fact of the bullshit that transpired and put me through, then it's kind of like, I don't want to be in this relationship. So I did have to walk away until I was able to truly heal. But I know in some of my parents' relationships, I got to a point of questioning and self-doubt, and I just had to make a decision. Outside of the infidelity, if you as a union, if you as a couple, you feel as though you're not happy, bump the infidelity, bump all the other stuff. I'm just saying, as a couple in general, if you feel as though you're genuinely not happy with that person, do not waste your life staying. I know for me it was different because outside of the infidelity, we didn't have any type of toxic issues. We're really great friends. We have great chemistry. Like we truly love one another. It was just me working on my flaws, him working on our flaws, and us meeting somewhere in the middle. And then we have evolved so much from that. But also through counseling, like talking to someone else and having someone else be able to articulate some of our thoughts to one another that we may not. Scorpios are very emotional creatures as well. Having someone else be able to hear our thoughts out, understand our dynamic, and articulate certain things and point out things like, haha. Like in relationships, we go through so many things and we don't really heal and work those things out. We kind of just have makeup sex or get back on good terms, and we don't really talk about it. And then when we don't talk about it, then when the next thing happens, then you remember the last thing that happened, and then now it's a bigger pile of F-ish on your plate that you're thinking about, and you don't want that. So I would definitely say, and I recommend betterhelp.com. That is a very inexpensive website. If you don't, I know some people may not have the funds for counseling or whatever it may be, or not even believe in counseling, so that's not the only thing that you can do. Another thing that I would say I would recommend is write out a letter to one another, telling each other your deepest feelings, your deepest thoughts about one another, pouring out everything that has happened, and been completely transparent. One thing with infidelity that can set the other person, me being cheated on, one thing that set me off the most was not having the whole truth laid out, just having parts of the truth. So when the whole truth has not been shared, and then you feel like, okay, we're healing, we're breaking through, and then months later or weeks later or days later or whatever time later, other variables start coming out, then it's like, now you're back to square one trying to heal again. Instead of truthfully, if you love that person and you value that person, give that person the honesty that they deserve and allow that person to make a decision about what they want to do from that. Don't give them what you feel like that the version of what they need to hear is. So you guys, y'all have some work to do. Y'all need to figure out for yourself what you want individually. If y'all gonna just let this relationship just keep building and have other traumatic things just keep happening and just have a completely, I'm not saying that you all aren't in love, but just a completely under average relationship, or if you guys are going to give it your best shot and put in the work. Talk to each other, even if you don't put the counselor into it. Talk to one another. Learn how to love each other again, date each other again, become friends with one another again, and heal. You got to heal. Be honest. Write those letters. Maybe even once a week you all start doing this, where you all write a letter and you read it the night before, and then you guys go out to lunch and talk about how that made you feel. And truthfully tell that person how you make. Don't water it down. Like I hope you guys appreciate this. Like I said, if you guys have any questions from the Keesha Talks, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't mind sprinkling in a little bit of my past pains, but that's what's gonna make me a little bit more relatable when it comes to this, because I've been through this. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I've been through a lot of things in my life. Although I am really young, I still have been through so much, you guys, and it has made me a better person, a better woman, and I'm just grateful all in all that I am able to share some of my past mess ups, like my mistakes that I have had to learn from, my embarrassments that I've had to learn from, and I'm here able to help you guys out. So like I said, send in your questions to KeeshaKaylee@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.